Hey, AfterBuzz TV fans, tune in now for the How to Get Away with Murder after show. This is He's Dead, recapping Season 4, Episode 9.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, we're back! Finally! Man, hopefully everybody had a great winter break. Obviously now it's much better because we have this show back.
It was so good! I was so excited. I wasn't this excited actually on my way here. I was like, the drive, the traffic. But hey y'all.
Hey, welcome back, team. Where can the people find you now that we're back?
Sorry about me sipping my water there. Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant.
Hey guys, Elayna here. You can follow me on all social platforms at Hey It's Late. And if you're in the chat room, it will be me that's being Elayna. So engage.
Interesting. It's a clever camouflage.
No, the name is being Elayna, so I want you to know that it's me. We're here.
Okay, your
She's
screen name is being
Elayna.
Elayna. Gotcha. Wow, that was,
Come on,
it was
JB.
very meta for a
You guys
second.
have been slow all day.
I know.
I have to tell you what they asked me after the show. I have to.
Totally. Well, yeah, we will get to that. Everybody, you guys can follow me at Hey John Blake. Let's get started because there's a lot to talk about.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of a crazy episode. A lot went down. Started kind of where we left off at the crime scene with the elevator. Blood is everywhere. It's pretty messy. Annalise left her bag as well, so the hard drive's in the elevator still.
She knew nothing
kind of-
about the bag.
Yeah.
No, she probably should have grabbed that. I feel like, isn't that like girl 101
Not
to
when-
like grab the purse?
Not when you
Right.
have a dead baby
you're
in your hand.
scared.
Right, but
yeah.
I mean, I thought I would assume the paramedics picked them up and then.
Well, they did. So, clearly, the paramedics picked up the bag because the police had her bag. Oh no, the
No,
police
the
got her bag when she
paramedics.
went
The
to the house.
paramedics, I feel like, would have grabbed Laurel and her
Yeah.
baby.
Well, the bag was left there. I said it incorrectly. I'm sorry.
Right.
Because the police got her bag.
Well, wait. Okay, first of all,
The bag's very
Yeah,
important. We can talk
so
about it later,
the-
but it has the hard drive in it, and that's like
they
why
almost died.
we
There
track.
was blood, there was death, there was no heartbeats, there was finally a cry, and no one's thinking about the bag, especially if I'm in a loop. Like if you come to my home and you just robbed a bank and you have a duffel full of $50K,
Right.
but you're dying, I'm not thinking about the duffel. I'm thinking about your life, unless you text me and said, "Hey, just robbed a bank. Don't forget the duffel." Like, you know what I mean? Like on your way.
Right.
I'm not thinking about the bag.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about the bag either, but now that we've watched the whole episode and I had time to digest, now I'm thinking about the bag because we know that the police got the bag, but the hard drive wasn't in it. So that's obviously going to be a premise for the whole season or all of the rest of the season. Who has the hard drive? Are they going to get it back? Is Laurel's dad going to hold the baby because of this? Yeah, that's why. That's
In
why
that
it's
voice
interesting now,
specifically.
but at the time, no, I was not worried about the bag.
Well, we saw the hard drive fall out of the bag, and we were
Right.
like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
someone should grab that." We thought Bonnie was going to be the one saved today. She kind of said, clearly,
She did a little bit.
She did some things. Clearly, I still feel ways about Bonnie.
Right. Yeah.
I'm smiling even
Yeah.
though I say that
But you're like still
because
not,
this
not a Bonnie
episode was
fan.
just so good.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, everybody was kind of playing catch up with each other, which was
Yeah.
kind of cool because we got a lot of interactions with everybody. You know, I think everybody was definitely getting to Laurel's baby, but it was kind of cool to see how everybody got there.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
finally the reason I kept saying this all throughout the episode. I had chills, I swear, almost the whole time, because all of these questions, how did this happen? How did Isaac get here? How does he even know them? Blah, 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 blah. Everything was answered. Like, or not everything was answered, but everything was put together. Like all of these things that we saw all throughout the first half of the season, they came together in a little stream and we saw how they happened. And I would just like to shout out that I was right that Laurel is in a psych ward.
Yeah.
You know I had to tell JB I was right while we were watching.
We were right about a lot
You
of
were
our
right.
predictions.
For once.
Totally.
For once, because I remember
Yes.
saying that Annalise was in the shower. Somebody thought that she had something to do with all the craziness, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
no. You know, we're just basically, they need to hire us and make us writers because we're on it.
I think so.
Yeah.
If,
There
if
you
we're,
go.
if we're guessing if this good and the show is as popular, then Are we
I
gonna,
mean, bring
are
us
we
in,
gonna
right?
check?
Cameos, hello.
Yeah. I interrupted you when you were talking with my laugh because Price in the chat room said that he hopes the poor baby doesn't grow up to be like weightless. And you know,
Oh,
I know
whoa.
it's
My
so
God.
bad. It's so bad that I couldn't hold my laugh.
That's a pretty good one, though.
Why
I
would-
do like that.
Why would he? I
deserves
love
a shout out
weightless.
for sure.
Weightless is so great. I mean, he may have been
Well, yeah,
weightless.
it is
but
mini weightless. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But it's also mini like Castillo fortune.
But it
So
sounds like she's
He
psycho.
can probably buy his way in.
This baby, poor little thing.
This baby also has mafia ties.
Yeah.
Ooh, kind of scary.
But at least now we have confirmation as of tonight whose baby
Yes.
it is. It is officially
Frank is not the father.
Wes's
man.
baby.
You are
Yeah.
not the daddy.
little baby Gibbons.
Poor
You
Frank.
Yeah.
are not the father.
Poor Frank.
Except Dad's gonna like name it something Castillo. But okay, I gotta say this. Obviously, we'll talk about how Laurel's dad has the baby, and we know maybe a reason why he would have it. But do y'all think that he'll harm the baby, or because he clearly didn't want it to happen, or will he use it as leverage, or? I don't know.
That's a very good question. I think he's going to use it as leverage. I think even though he hates the fact that the baby exists, I think he's just, like such a old school like family values that I think it would be tough for him to get rid of
anything bad.
his grandson.
Well, now that the baby is alive, also
Right,
people
that's what I
know
mean, yeah.
that the baby is alive. So it's not like he can just, erase the problem. It's not like he can.
Right.
At this point, the baby is premature. It could die, and he could think of it, oh, this is like morbid and terrible. But he
Right.
could think of it as, if the baby dies, then it could be a good story. Look at what he and his daughter went through, and this is bringing them together. But I also, more than that, I think
he
it's
has
like
a heart like that to.
yeah, clearly someone in his camp, whether it was directly him or not, I don't think he does anything directly. Someone put drugs in Laurel's system. I don't think for a second that she was doing cocaine.
We knew that was her daddy too.
Right.
We didn't know how he did it or when he did it, but we knew that it was him in the drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
He definitely has access to that. Dominic is super sneaky. Clearly, he could have,
But has he been a white horse the whole time and we just didn't know? No, he did kill Wes, so there you go. He's not. I gotta stop, because for a second I was thinking with what Laurel said, like, oh, he's the one who's gonna help because he did call me. But also he's done everything that Laurel's dad, Jorge, has said without second thought, but obviously...
including killing her baby's daddy.
Right, but obviously knowing if something's gonna harm her, he has known her for her entire life as
Right.
well, so it's not like he wishes her harm. But
Day in the chat room says that they agree with you because the dad is way too old school.
Yeah.
But I think that he's really
Nice.
too cut.
Price is killing it, by the way.
Wait, JB
I see
gets
that.
one person to agree with him, and he got stuck. He was like, nice. Like,
shout out.
such a dude.
That was so funny.
What was I saying?
Please continue.
You were saying...
I think that her dad is a lot more cutthroat, and we're really gonna get to see that because it's been insinuated all these past
Right.
seasons, right? And we're like, nah, he still kind of wants to be there. Even when they had their lunch or dinner together at the beginning of season 4,
Yeah.
we were like, he doesn't want to hurt. He doesn't want to hurt her. He still loves her, but you can't trust people like him because he has two sides and he flips them really quick. Mm-hmm. And how he turned on her in like the courtroom and all of these I just I want him to die. I want him to die.
Right, Mr. Castillo.
I want to
Mr.
say
Castillo.
this though. Can I
Gotcha.
touch this?
Oh, go
it's too
for
late
it.
because I'm already touching it. Oh gosh, I can't scroll up. But someone just said, oh, there we go. So she didn't actually. Niles. Hey, Niles.
Hey now.
Says she didn't actually have drugs in her system, right? They just faked the medical report. Yes, that's what
Right.
I don't know why I said that way, because I do think the medical report is just faked. I don't think he actually put cocaine into her body. Then
Right.
that's why they were pushing so hard for another drug test.
Right.
And she's like, I want to see it happen when I'm there, blah, blah, blah. But now she has all this other crap in her body, so it's not even really gonna
Yeah, it was
matter.
interesting, the whole like antidepressant conversation that Dr. Isaac was having with Annalise about, Laurel should have been taking them, she got off, and that's why she was like stuck in that psych ward wing. That was interesting to me because you would think that maybe that would affect like the pregnancy or something, taking something like that,
Well,
but maybe it doesn't.
I have no, meaning the antidepressant. I
Right.
have no idea if it would. I would assume it would, but I kind of am totally on the same page as Isaac here, because if she has a lengthy period of taking antidepressants and she gets off of them, whenever she tells whoever it was that she's Michaela that she's off of them, she's pregnant. Like, she has a belly. So clearly she's been taking them when she was pregnant. So it's like, if they see it, that she has a history and then she randomly just stopped and then all this stuff happened, I kind of agree with him. It's not smart for them to do anything because it could just make things worse at this point.
She only went off of her antidepressants because her OBGYN told her to go off of her antidepressants because of the pregnancy. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going crazy, let me stop taking my meds. It wasn't anything like that. It was for the well-being of my child. I need to stop taking these pills, which shows my responsibility as a mother and as the care of my child. And it's also hard because we know Laurel. We know her story. We know what she's been doing. We know that she's not going to sit there and have a drink or do drugs. So regardless of her being on the antidepressants or not, like for Dr. Isaacson, what's his name?
Isaac Roja.
There we go. For Mr. Roja, I get it. I get his concern. And from a person on the outside, I would agree. Yeah. But I'm not on the outside. I'm like part of the Keating Five a little, you know.
We are very much on the inside.
Yeah, we're on the inside. So we know. Did y'all notice that they're back together kind of in this episode, by the way?
Who?
The Keating. Oh,
I know.
Like, they're all, they were in the hospital.
They made me happy. Together. Except now Oliver is like being a wet blanket. Like, come on, bro.
Don't kill him. What a wet blanket.
Please.
Oh, gosh. The second that I saw Bonnie, like, walk through the doors of Kaplan and Gold, I'm like, this is how she gets back in. I've been wondering this whole time, how, after all that's happened, how is she going to, like, integrate back? How is everyone going to be back together? And I guess this is what it took. Yeah. Because she is, I mean, she's doing her job as the DA, but clearly she was helping Asher. Clearly she was helping Oliver at the same time. So maybe she's trying to get back in. I don't know.
Maybe. It was nice to see everybody finally, like, I forgot how long it's been really since everybody, even like Frank and Annalise and Bonnie and Nate, like everybody that we care about, pretty much, working together.
Since Annalise fired them at the dinner table.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of rough times.
It's been a rough few months for these kids, but, you know.
But, I mean, even before that, I feel like, you know, people were on the outs, and it's nice to have, like, the gang back together and be, like, finally united.
It was nice to see Annalise, like, fully kicking butt for the kids again.
Ooh.
She's been on all this, you know, stuff with, whatchamacallit? Oh my gosh, why am I thinking?
She went off the rails,
with all of her cases. But tonight, whenever she just manhandled that cop, I was like, you go, girl.
We were like snapping. It was the hospital attending who was trying to get her to.
She dropped the bomb on that lady.
She
had no idea. She was like, I'm gonna give you $100 million class action suit.
Yeah, actually, I'm Miss Castillo's standing attorney at this point. So what you might want to do is handle. Sorry, I'm having a moment.
Totally.
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, no, and she straight up served her. Like,
she did,
which was awesome.
Because she just literally was like, okay. If she would have added a biatch at the end, it would have been.
If she would have added a what?
Biatch.
Did y'all see how April's head tilted when she said it was like a?
It was very authentic.
You know, that's how you gotta do it.
I think she got a little carried away a little bit with all that emotion, though, too, Annalise, because she lashed out at Dr. Isaac, like, hardcore.
Oh, yeah, that was
a little uncalled for. I mean, granted, you know, tension was high. The mood was kind of emotional.
I mean, we can't lose all of our Annalise. She's got to have a little bit of her old personality of going way too low when it's not necessary.
Right, yeah, that was a low blow, though.
But he'll forgive her because he loves her.
Yeah, it was just like, whoa, okay.
And he understands, obviously, what she's going through. We have to remember that just like a couple of hours ago, she pulled a catatonic baby from Laurel.
True.
Like, so that's pretty traumatizing, obviously.
Yeah, she did. She delivered the baby, like, through a elevator gate.
Yeah,
she definitely did,
which is impressive.
And she still was able to, like, handle all of the stuff in the way that she did. So I've already forgiven her for having this moment that she did, even though that was a low blow, Annalise. But you know, it happens every now and then.
I mean, her shower scene, her breakdown in the shower scene was warranted because of all that she's gone through.
Right.
It was like, okay, because, you know, she has been on this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
So knowing that she's still on top of her game, she's still taking care of these kids. And that kind of hurt me. Like that scene in the hospital when she was like, you guys still haven't learned.
Oh.
That hurt me so bad for her because they get her into so much crap when the detective was like, we're treating this as investigation because this is Annalise. She couldn't be telling us the truth. It's like, damn, like you guys have really, I mean, Annalise played a part too,
right.
but they have really ruined her reputation. Like when we first met Annalise, she was just on top of it, and all of these murders and everything has really ruined her. So to see her still basically serving them, that kind of broke my heart.
Yeah, that was so sad. And just the fact that I always go back to, she is the only one who actually hasn't murdered anyone. Not that all of the kids have, but they've all been like very involved. She's just done stuff to protect them, literally ruined her reputation. Now, not to say that she's totally innocent. Obviously, she's done some very messed up stuff. She's been an alcoholic. She's done, you know, stuff on her own to mess up her reputation as well. But so many of those things wouldn't have happened if she wasn't under this crazy stress because of all the stuff that these kids did.
Yeah.
So that's where I still go back to like, how do they get off?
Right.
Like being pissed at her for anything just because she makes moves to protect them.
Totally.
But then look at the dumb stuff that they still do. And like
Kids
Michaela
will be
said it
kids.
best. I guess.
But no,
Michaela
I
said it
completely
best.
agree with you. I think, you know, the whole scene with Dr. Isaac was her lashing out because she was trying to protect, again, Laurel. Like, she was worried about her and her safety, and I just had this very traumatic situation with her dad, like, kind of losing the baby to his custody, and now thinking that, you know, that baby is now in danger because of what she wasn't able to do. She wasn't able to kind of convince people, like, paperwork wise, that like the baby should stay, and so now its life might be in danger, and she, I think, is kind of internalizing that a bit.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, there's really nothing she can do. Like, there's no proof. If he's paying off the nurses or whoever to fake this drug test, then it's not like they have people there that are gonna not or say it's not true.
Right.
She can discredit him in some way with the stuff on the hard drive. I mean, the fact that he has gone through these lengths to try to steal the baby, they can start de-piecing that. And I know that they're going to come up with a plan. I didn't expect Dominic to die in this episode because he was part of my plan. Ooh. So that was like a shocker a little bit. But I definitely think that there's a way for them to discredit who he is as a man, as this person of the company. And I'm ready for him to go.
But it was good that whenever he called Laurel, or we saw the scene where he called her the night before, and he's like, he knows you're pregnant. And she's like, I don't care. First of all, she is an idiot for going to dinner with him and thinking that he wouldn't know. Like, she looked pregnant. She didn't drink the champagne. Whatever. We gave her too much credit for getting away with that when we should have known that she didn't.
Yeah.
But then whenever he warned her, that's, again, I was like, what idiots? The dude is the owner of a telecommunications company. Of course he is going to have access to everything that she does. He's going to know everything. So how did they think that they were going to get away with this?
And yeah, I think it's a very easy phone call for him to make. If Dominic's capable of killing people like all the time, he can just be like, hey, can you just watch Laurel like anytime in public and just see if she's pregnant?
Yeah,
pretty easy confirmation to make from anybody. Like, not even, you don't need to be like a trained assassin.
JB, can you kind of get us together? Can we kind of go through what happened and the questions we had that were answered? Because Simon's alive. We had,
a lot of things happened.
What's Simon's name?
Simon Drake.
Simon Drake. We had Simon Drake on the
Bezad.
Bezad, yeah.
That
was his real name.
We had Bezad on the show for the first half.
Yeah,
and
that was really cool.
He couldn't tell us whether Simon lived or died.
Now we know.
We knew. We kind of pieced it together because we're geniuses.
Yes.
That Simon lived. So now we know that for sure.
Yes, we do. But Oliver is being like his
Danielle in the chat
hallway
room.
pass card.
Danielle in the chat room says she doesn't know why we're hating on Oliver because he's right. So
he's totally right.
I mean, perhaps.
Whose side are you guys on?
I mean,
Oliver is okay. Oliver is right. They don't need to like harm this innocent person. Literally, when he said it, he's like, this guy was shot in the head because of us.
Right.
He doesn't
I mean, he
deserve
shot himself
that.
in the head. Let's be
But
real.
He did shoot himself.
yes, but I am on the page of if he wakes up, then they're all screwed.
That's what I was gonna
For
say.
sure.
Morally, he's trying to do the right thing, and that's admirable. However, we know well enough because we've been a part of this group for 4 seasons that although that's the moral thing to do, we're in too deep for anything else, because Simon Drake got shot in the head. He's gonna wake up, if he has all his senses, with a vengeance.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, oh heck no, you and y'all stole this, then they're framing me, because he's up to go to jail when he lives.
Yeah.
Because they framed him. So he's not going to go to jail, lose his immigration. Like, he's not going to just take it for the team. He's not a part of the team.
It's also everyone else's word against his, though. And the evidence is in his apartment. It is. But whatever Asher said, he's so right. Like, he's like, I saw the dude's brains. I'm pretty sure he's not going to, like, be having lengthy conversations if he wakes up. So I kind of think that, even though that's too easy.
I think he might.
It's too easy for that to happen, but I just think it's every other person's word against his. The stuff was in there. It just depends still on what Asher actually told the police, though, because they did that whole scene where Michaela's talking to the police and Oliver's talking to the police, and then Asher's telling Nate in prison. But he's telling Nate, he's like, I told them the whole truth. But then he told them the truth. But then they're telling them a different story. So did Asher actually tell them the real truth?
I feel like
or did
the
he say what they said?
stories, the stories were really similar. I mean, that was a really cool scene how they edited it. Like Michaela and Oliver kind of being at the same place and wondering what Asher was going to do. Is kind of like a whole prisoner's dilemma situation.
Yeah.
But it seemed like their stories lined up, except for the one fact that Asher told Nate that Laurel was there, and the other two told them that it was just 3 of them.
But no, Nate, Asher was telling the
whole
real truth.
Yeah.
Michaela and Simon, Michaela and Oliver were telling
Their made-up version.
It definitely was not the truth, what they were saying. We just did the same.
It was pretty
thing.
close, though. I mean, like, granted, they didn't tell the whole truth, but
No,
I think
they told the truth at all.
What are you
They
talking
said
about?
Simon shot himself.
He did
like
shoot
That
himself,
he put the gun
though.
to his head and shot himself. They said that
I
they
mean,
were
they
trying to
embellished
talk him.
a little
That
bit.
he was waving the
They
gun.
lied, JB.
They said that
They did lie.
That
I'm
he
not
was
saying they didn't
threatening
lie.
them
They
because
didn't
he didn't want to
tell-
get deported because he had all of this. He had stolen something. That's what they told the police happened.
Well, they gave a little bit of motivation, maybe, where they insinuated a few things.
They got the details, the main details, who was there, who they wanted to know was there anyway,
Right.
and that he shot himself.
Yeah, and
But,
that
like,
Asher picked up the gun afterwards.
But they definitely, Asher told the real truth to Nate. But I'm like,
Right.
did he tell the police the real truth? I don't think so, because he obviously wouldn't be out. But
Yeah, I just mean that the Michaela Oliver story, as it stands, is pretty close to the truth. Aside from the fact that they just completely lied about Laurel being there.
People in the chat really think that he either is not going to make it or he's going to be like some kind of...
Who, Simon?
Simon. That he's going to not remember what happened or just be in some kind of slumber state or maybe be awake and not be able to speak.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with that, but I forgot who I was reading. Someone brought up a great point when we were talking about Oliver being a douche all of a sudden. They were like, you have to remember that Oliver had a crush on Simon. Or Simon had a crush on Oliver, but then Oliver played into it. And
Right.
that's a good point because that is probably why Oliver doesn't want Simon to die.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no, Oliver and Simon, I think, had a legitimate, like, close friendship relationship thing happening.
But I think if Oliver wouldn't have played into the crush that Simon had on him, then Simon may not have been where he was because
Right.
he went after Oliver.
Yeah, no,
because Oliver was flirting with him, so he
Right.
has like an extra chip on his shoulder or an extra like feeling of grief
Right.
over maybe I'm like slightly more responsible, but no one else knows that or no one
Totally.
knows like
And
that
I think
part of it.
I think Oliver, like, through that, Oliver knew Simon, like, just as, like, a regular person.
Yeah.
As, like, you know, they're both non-murderers. They're both, you know, I think they're both into a lot of the same things. So they were actually friends. And for him to be like, I think that's why it's a little easier for him to kind of stand in the way of the main crew that we care about.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, you're equally my friends. Like, I'm not, you know, I think if the shoe was on the other foot, if Simon was, like, coming after them, he would do the same thing. Be like, dude, you're not kidding, too.
So
My thieves.
Simon is living. We want him to live as a cast because we've met
We
him.
like him.
Yes.
Yes.
We met him for real, and we want him to have a job.
Yes.
Did we
Yes,
not agree?
confirmed,
Okay,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I like that.
Like,
Well, no, his acting is phenomenal because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And I hate Simon.
right,
like,
so much.
It's keep it up.
Okay,
It's
so what other answers did we get this episode?
so we got Franken's not the father. We talked about.
We got that Nate is still sexy.
Oh my God! Did y'all see? Sorry, guys, close your ears.
I guess we got
Listen,
that.
when Connor knocked on Nate's door, just give us a little bit.
Totally, take your time.
When Connor, when Connor knocked on Nate's door and Nate opened it and all you saw was like his rib cage. April, did
I
you see
grabbed
that?
Elayna. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then I even made JB like, I was like, JB.
It was like this. You know, no, I'm gonna reenact. Okay, maybe not. Listen, the door opened and he was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And then the camera panned down his abs and it was like,
Nice.
"That's it, guys. Okay, that's it. That's all we got."
Moral
Nice.
of the
Well,
story,
yeah, I'm
Nate
glad.
is still dead sexy. But he's also helping them out.
He is, which I
he's
like.
Why
I
Asher
like.
gets out of
I like
jail.
Nate and Bonnie being like back on the team, even though they're like very much, not tools in like the sense that they're like not cool.
Yeah.
It's just like they're more like.
Well, Nate's
they're
always
more
been
like
cool.
assets instead of, like main characters with
Yeah.
with specific agendas.
Nate's always been cool. Bonnie, not cool. Yeah.
Isn't it hilarious how Nate is always ready to save the day? They're like, "Oh, Annalise needs you." Oh, she does. Okay,
Ready.
he doesn't do it like that, but
Wait, who saw Bonnie? Who went to the door? Who saw Bonnie on his couch?
Connor.
Connor saw
okay.
Bonnie on his couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mwah. Oh, speaking of Bonnie, I know I kind of touched on this earlier, but that was a clutch move when she was like, I was his ex-girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
be
she
on this.
completes. She gets Asher off of the whole jail thing, which is
Yeah.
nice.
It's also
very
smart
cleverly
that
played.
now this is something that I didn't know, which has shocked me because of the amount of Dateline that I watch. But I think it was smart of Asher to tell them that he touched the gun,
Absolutely.
knowing that they would have found his DNA. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I thought if you wiped your fingerprints clean, they wouldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So good to know. But yeah, I definitely think that was the right move. And how they were questioning, I'm like, of course, if they're gonna find it, you don't want to lie and say you didn't touch it or you
Right.
have no idea, and then they do a DNA sweep and they clearly find hers.
Totally. Because I think of everybody there, he would have the most motive, technically, because, he, people have seen him in public with, friction with Simon. They had that altercation at one of the, parties. So I think he was, an easy target, not knowing that he was hauled off to jail.
Yeah.
I think it was smart of him to have done that and touched the gun and fess up to it. At the same time, I'm happy that Michaela and Oliver played through that chess game of what did he say and
Yeah.
figured out that he would probably say that.
Oh, another answer that we got is when Tegan obviously.
Yes. Oh God, that was the best.
What
That
word
was
am I
my
trying to
favorite
say?
line
Yeah.
of the show. Just you're not as good as a liar as you think you are.
Ooh.
Boom.
Because she thought she was so just
Yeah, I mean the acting was phenomenal. I was I believe you.
yeah.
I mean I know the truth, but still,
Yeah.
you're compelling me.
She did. Yeah, she did great when she was trying to convince Tegan. But when Tegan popped back and was like, "You're not that great," and then she still let her go. She didn't try to fight her about
Yeah.
it. She
Yeah.
was just like, "I'm on to you." That just let me know that it's about to be some stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good because Tegan likes Annalise, but because after their whole ordeal,
Right.
but because Annalise is now trying to save the day with the kids, that means Tegan and Annalise are gonna have to go head to head.
Right. Plus, Tegan's ass is on the line. She is coming for blood because, she has to. She has to get. I think all loyalties are going to be thrown to the wayside because she needs to cover her own neck, especially at the company and with this huge client. Her entire future is kind of riding on the fact that
Yeah.
she didn't do anything wrong or that she wasn't a party to this problem. And more than that, she's got a duty to find out who did and why this happened
Yeah.
and kind of track that down.
But now that Lil Dominic is dead, that's at least one monkey off her back.
I
for
know,
now.
classic Frank,
Well,
back in the game. Just that killer cars.
It was the whole
car
"you're
head
not the
slam.
daddy" thing that sent him over the
Right?
edge.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you didn't even kill him for a good reason. Like, he was just messing with you. You didn't get any information from him. And then, that's the best answer of all to me.
What?
It's
What?
probably the lamest to anybody else, but now we know who Kristoff was calling.
Oh no, that
Yes,
was my
yes.
favorite. Listen, when I heard Wes's voice, my
like angels.
entire body caught. Like, you were catching chills the whole show, and you kept
Yeah.
saying chills, chills, and I was like, yeah. And then the whole Wes scene came back because it kind of wasn't on my mind for this show. Like, I know we brought it up several times, but for
Yeah.
this episode, I didn't think we were gonna get it because we've been waiting so long.
Right.
So when he came up, I just started reliving all of these things, and I don't know what happened. It was a moment.
Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, do you remember at all? Was there a moment that we've seen, at least, that Laurel talked to Wes and said, like, hey, if you're ever in a situation...
No, I have no
Here's
idea,
this
obviously,
lifeline.
why Wes would have in case of emergency.
I mean, yeah, I think, well, to me, at least, Laurel's relationship with Dominic, obviously Dominic had mentioned that he, like, fell in love with her for a while, so they were close at a time. And so I think her knowing him on that level and not being on the outs with him, like, she would kind of go to him as, like, a fixer if she was in a jam.
Yeah.
Because he can clearly clean some stuff up.
But
or
why
kill
say
people.
that his name was Kristoff?
Well, I was gonna say
Well, no, because I think he was trying to be, like, incognito about it.
No, I think
You
that
think
there-
that they had met before?
There's something deeper.
I think
know.
that there is something deeper in their relationship. Either Wes did actually switch on the team and was working for Laurel's dad or something. But for him to know him as Kristoff and not Wes,
Yeah.
Dominic.
Yeah.
And this is the same person that killed you?
Hours later.
That's
it just doesn't
so
make sense.
whack.
Yeah. I'm going to call you for an emergency and then you're going to murder me. It just doesn't make sense. The Kristoff thing doesn't make sense. I don't know.
That's what threw us off. The fact that he used his name
Right.
is what threw us off. Like, who could it be?
Yeah.
And then it's the person that kills you. So it's like, okay, well, what's the backstory? What? How does that make sense? But it's so good.
Oh, Niall says,
know.
when Dominic was about to kill Wes, Wes said, "Why are you doing this? Not who the hell are you or anything."
Really?
That's true. He didn't say who are you.
I don't remember
He's like,
that.
"Why are you doing this?"
So
He
do you
did,
think
for
they were
sure.
like friends?
I don't know about friends.
I mean,
that's
you
a
know,
little,
but, like,
that's
on
a
the-
little
on the
far.
same side.
Maybe they could have met.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he may have called him and they met up or something, and then something else happened. So he may have known who Dominic was, so he wasn't, like, surprised when he saw him, like, in the house.
But that's gonna take us into a whole other realm, and then it's like, would he be filming on the show again? With clearly,
I
we
hope
would
so.
have
I
to
mean,
know
not
there
only
would be
to
a lot.
see Wes again, but
You
I
know,
think
that's just like a heartbreaker that I don't even need to go through.
really,
But
yeah.
I want to know why
I do too.
Wes was killed. Like,
No,
that's
I
still
wanna
like
know why.
an open thing for me.
I definitely want to
It's
know
a
why, but I'm
deep
saying
wound.
like having him back on the show, film like I would just
Okay.
be sad because clearly it has to end somewhere.
Right.
But I don't know.
We get
I
some
mean, I definitely want to
we
know.
get some flashback scenes, some
I mean,
cameos.
I'm sure we are because we got the same one that we had for a while
Right.
tonight. But my thing is, if they're going through that backstory with Wes and Dominic, it really sucks because Dominic is now dead.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
now we're going through the backstory of two people who are no longer alive. Like, that's just kind of, come on, you know.
And then it's like Frank killing him. Obviously, Laurel's not happy about that because she wanted to call him because she thought he'd basically come to her side since he called her the night before. But it's like there could have been so many other answers that we would have gotten from him as far as like, I mean, clearly he wanted to track Oliver because Tegan told him that Oliver was the one at the place. And that's the moral of like their whole story is who was trying to like actually get to Antares. But he already knows. He already knows that Laurel had something to do with it. That's why he warned her the night before. So I don't know. Oh gosh.
Whose side was Dominic really on? Granted, he did the
Right.
dirty work for the dad, but was he trying to,
Help Laurel.
you know,
Right, but like, help with what? Was it like, don't have the baby tomorrow? Like, that's not
No,
like a
he was
thing
saying
you
don't.
can do.
And if he knows that, imagine what else he knows.
He would know. No, I remember. I know that. I think it sounds like he was kind of alluding to the murder, maybe, or
no.
murder.
Oh, I thought he was alluding to what was happening with them getting the files.
who? Wait,
Or that
what?
too.
Dominic, whenever he called her the night before and said, "Your dad
Kind of an
knows you're
open,
pregnant,"
open threat.
but I thought that's what they were.
I thought it was too.
That he said, think of what else he could know. And she was like, that's why I should have called it off right then, but I didn't.
Or it
Right.
could be.
Oh, yeah. So shutting down the whole stock
plan.
thing. Yeah.
Right.
Or it could be the you don't really know her part. Because remember when he was talking to Frank, he was like, you don't really know her. I don't really know her. Her dad don't really know her.
Right.
So there's something that he knows about her that we don't know. So maybe when he said your dad knows you pregnant, think of what else he may know. Your daddy know what you thought he didn't know outside of the files.
Mm-hmm. And he knows all about them
And he
murders.
knows about the murders.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's known about that for a long time. I mean, if he's been
Yeah.
tapping her phone and doing whatever, and he knows all of this other information, then I'm sure he knows about
Yeah,
everything.
well,
but it's
and
his
again,
daughter, so
yeah.
what do you? I mean, you're not going to do anything
Right.
about it.
And I feel like that has to add up, or I hope it at least adds up to his motivation to kill Wes, because it seems so, like, out of the blue otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope that. Obviously, I hope that we find out.
Yeah.
But it's just there's so many other things going on. We're left with all of
Totally.
these questions now. We got a lot of answers tonight.
We
We
did.
did.
There's still more. I
Thankfully,
feel like
yeah.
that we got.
The story.
Well, yeah, I mean,
was framed
Mr.
well.
Castillo, just in general, he is, like, a symbol of questions. Like, everything,
Yeah.
he's, like, shrouded in mystery.
I kind of like him. It's a weird thing. I think he's cute. I know. It's bad.
Fair enough.
I think he's cute. But I'm like, he's a good, let's say, villain to have because he essentially is all about himself and is willing to do whatever he can.
Right, and he's a super powerful character, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool because, you know, he can kind of buy his way out of things and just, like, influence all these, you know, roadblocks for Annalise and the Keating 5, 4.
But it does
I don't
seem
know
like
if
he
we've
really
fully
loved...
accepted
I know.
Oliver in the mix.
No, it's still got to be 5. But Oliver doesn't count. He definitely genuinely loves Laurel. Like, he knew she was pregnant and he hadn't done anything.
Right.
So would he have done anything if he didn't find out about him trying to ruin her? Obviously, he loves her, but his life would be over if all of this stuff about his company was found out. So I'm like, maybe he wouldn't have done anything. Maybe this is just like, now it's a terrible thing to do, but it's like a grasp at, you were going to do this to me, I have to protect myself, and this is the best leverage I have.
What is going to happen to Tegan now that so we're talking about the dad and his power, right? And he's going through all of this stuff with Laurel and the baby, but he's still going through, remember he was switching something with his companies and they had to act faster. I can't remember exactly what
They switched it. They opened that. They were going public.
They were going public. So his whole life is like up right now. His personal life, his business life, and now that this episode has happened, and we know that his files were stolen, Dominic's not there to clean up the mess because he was trying to get answers from Tegan. Dominic's no longer there, and we know that Tegan and Michaela had this encounter. That means Annalise and Tegan are going to have an encounter.
Right.
Who would win? I don't know.
Right.
But now it's like, is he going to bring on these board of attorneys?
Probably. He's got to in some way, because he has to be fully prepared with all of the baby stuff. In order for a judge to take a baby away from the mom, there's got to be history of drug use and, history or proof that the baby would be in an unfit situation. That's literally the only way a judge would take it away from the mom. So he's got to be fully prepared. Clearly he already is.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
What?
Sorry. That was not nice. I'm
What?
sorry.
No, I was done.
what's
I was
up?
done.
Okay, so
Fire away.
Remember I texted you guys because I didn't think the article was real about the whole scandal,
Oh,
how to
the
get away with murder.
murder.
thing.
Oh, yeah, the crossover, people. If you guys haven't heard about
Mayra
this,
said that
Scandal
the dad.
is crossing over with How to Get Away with Murder. Crazy.
I
Sorry,
just
continue.
remembered. Mayra was like, Laura's dad's gonna hire Olivia Pope, which would piss me off. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Olivia and Annalise are gonna go head to head and not Tegan and Annalise.
Whoa.
That's hard.
I wouldn't like that.
Man, I would love that. I mean,
That would piss me off. Don't do that. Don't.
I think Tegan could get some swings in if she went against Annalise, but let's be
It's
real.
Annalise.
It's no contest there.
Damn.
Like that though. That's like.
So do you think? Okay. Do you think the dad, George, is gonna end up hiring a big dog attorney to fight this? Is it gonna be like this custody battle kind of thing? Because he does have this super high business position, which would
That'd
make
be cool.
sense.
That'd be
He
cool.
could definitely hire her for Olivia Pope for something, but it's only a crossover episode, so
Right.
it can't be anything of major importance.
Right,
but
right.
I bet that is how they'll cross it over.
Yeah,
That's
maybe it
fine.
goes
I'm-
up to like the Supreme Court or something.
Yeah, it's like she
Crazy.
can go against somebody else, just not against Annalise.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking too, I wonder
That'd
if
be
Dominic's
crazy.
death is somehow going to come back on Tegan because she's the last person to talk to him. He was asking her all of this information.
Right.
Now, and then he all of a sudden,
Interesting. Yeah,
It's gone?
that could be a reasonable frame up job on
I
her.
don't
I feel
know.
like I don't know if Dominic is a pivotal character enough, like in society. Like he might not even be like, an American citizen. You know, like we don't know.
but he's Jorge's like right hand man, so he's definitely going to know that he's missing.
Right,
And
right,
then
but like
freaking
he's
Frank
also an
has his
assassin.
phone.
So are you gonna like be like, hey, my assassin's dead or
Frank-
missing?
Frank has his phone. You know Jorge is all up on that Find My iPhone. Like, he definitely is going to know. So it's just dumb.
It looks like.
I mean, maybe it's smart for now because it seems like Jorge is
It
where
looks
he's...
like a droid. Not a
It
big deal.
did.
Continue.
It was an
Sorry.
Android.
Oh, sorry.
They're all tech savvy
Um,
with Android. Sorry, not to bring up the iPhone
Sorry.
But
Android thing.
it's going to be like... not to bring up the iPhone.
I
Android.
know in the comments they're already doing
Yeah,
scan,
just
they're
own up.
doing Scandal and How to Get Away. They're talking
Yeah,
about
no, I love that,
Eli
love
Pope
that.
or Jorge Castillo.
Oh man, that's tough.
See,
like
so
this
they're
whole
gonna go iPhone,
powerhouses.
Android.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm most excited for. I want there to just be like a new series that just. Both.
That would be amazing. But, so, Jorge's going to know, or we'll see that his phone is at the hospital. So he could think that he's there, like, checking up on Laurel, doing what he's supposed to do for now, anyway.
Right.
But clearly, he's going to find out soon. That
Totally.
is
Well,
not
yeah.
the case.
Let's make some predictions then.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
Now,
I mean-
your AfterBuzz
I don't
TV.
Our whole thing was pretty much.
we don't know where the
but
heck
still.
this second
We did
half
pretty
is
good.
going.
We did pretty good from the last season. I feel very confident coming into this new stretch of season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think like so the last episode before this was called like Live I think, and like there's like 3 people that were like questionable and they all lived, which we confirmed, which is nice. This one, he's dead, which I feel like means Dominic.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, because they say he's dead.
Yeah, 'cause
Or
they-
Frank
yeah.
literally is like, he's dead.
Right.
And
But I mean,
then-
like, because the baby's kind of up in the air, but like, yeah, I think he's
baby-
gonna survive.
The baby's up in the air
Yeah.
for the
For-
Keating kids.
Right.
Not everyone, because remember, they haven't been able to get inside the hospital. No one's giving them updates. So
Right.
in their
Totally.
mind, Laurel or
Right.
the baby's still dead.
And you know, and the baby still could die. I mean, the dad could
Stop.
flip a switch.
Stop it.
And like Simon
gonna
can
pull
totally
that tube
die.
out.
I think both of them are gonna live though. I think Simon's gonna pull out later down the line, and I think he's going to be like hazy though for a while too. I
Yeah.
think there's gonna be like several gray areas of tension. And I think the baby's gonna survive as we figure out like more about Mr. Castillo and like his whole master plan.
Yeah. I think
And
that
why
they're
kill
going to...
Wes?
I think they're gonna back burner Simon for a little bit, even though he is what the kids are gonna be worried
Right,
about
right.
right now. But I think the baby, Laurel's dad, how does she get out of this situation is much more important.
Yeah, that's priority one.
than the rest of the
100%.
stuff. Oh, also, we still have no idea who has the hard drive. I have no guesses about that. Who would have it? Because whoever picked up, someone got it before the police picked up her bag, seemingly, unless someone was with the police. But then who would that have been? I don't know. Unless Bonnie has it. I
She's
always
very good.
guess
She's very
Bonnie for
sneaky.
so many stuff.
Bonnie's
Like I'm always
very
like,
sneaky.
she
I would not
killed this
put it past her.
person. She did this. She did this.
Well, especially with Nate's, like kind of her and him working as like a team of cahoots. I feel like she could have. They can get their way into getting the hard drive.
And she's the only person that was at the crime scene at the apartment that might know. That's true. That might know that something is up. That would think to look in her bag.
Right.
Why would just someone random from the crime scene? Or it could have been Dominic. Dominic could have had it because we see him leave whenever Connor is in the hallway talking about whatever he's talking about.
Right.
Totally.
Whew. Okay. So, first of all, you guys aren't giving us any predictions in the chat room, and usually I steal yours. But
Yeah,
there
they
are.
are. Black Magic 99.
What are you
I
talking
think
about?
Nate
Yeah,
has
I think
it.
Nate has it.
Oh, okay.
Nate has it.
First of all, that hashtag
That's
Rebecca
good.
treatment, it was mentioned earlier,
real.
and it
It's
made
pretty
me
woke.
laugh. They
I like
said that
that.
Oliver needs to get the Rebecca treatment
Ooh.
because he's being.
Just Bonnie. Just
That's
come see me in the
hilarious.
basement real quick. We gotta talk.
You know what's gonna happen? Woo! I really just don't know. Like, it could go so many ways. I don't have enough right now. Like, I got the answers that I wanted for the first 8 episodes, but now I have no idea what they're gonna do with it. Like, is the second episode gonna be as great as this one, or is it gonna be like, great, here we go again? You know? What I would
didn't seem.
Yeah. What I would like to happen though, I want Laura to get her baby back. They can go do the hard drive scene and it can be some other kind of crap. But I just feel like she needs something stable. Obviously, that's going to be a long fight and it's going to be something that happens at the very last moment. But I want Annalise to get laid by Nate.
That's a good prediction.
I'm ready for Dr. Roja
Fair
to
enough.
go. I'm ready for Isaac to go.
Really?
Not
You're
not
over
die.
him. Yeah.
Not die. I just
just
think that the arguing
You think
between
that's got run its course?
because even when we didn't get to talk about it, but when Annalise threw that jab about his daughter committing suicide, like that was just too much for me. Like at this point, they are going below the belt, and I'm over it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
TBD.
I'm just gonna say whatever happens next episode, I'm gonna act like I predicted it this episode. So let's just insert a blob here.
Perfect.
There's my prediction.
Totally. Well, yeah, a lot of good stuff to look forward to. I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to wait until next week to find out. But luckily, it won't be months and months like the last break that we had. It did go by quickly. Hopefully, everybody had an awesome holidays.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year!
Woo!
Wow, 2018.
I know, crazy.
Twins.
But yeah, I guess we'll see next week.
Is that it?
I think so. Do you guys have anything else?
I don't
Nope,
wanna go.
that's it.
Yeah.
See y'all next week.
I don't want to go.
Sounds good. Where can the people find you guys?
Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant.
And you can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
Awesome. You guys can follow me at Hey John Blake. Tune in next week for another episode.
Bye guys. Until next time.
Later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.